Welcome to the class. So we are now on our first lesson for the second examination. So your second exam will be next week, I think, right? That is 2 weeks after the first examination. So for the first lesson for the coverage of the G7 or the art appreciation. So I'll show you my PowerPoint presentation. So where is it? Show all the slides. Sana yun siya? Um, okay, wait for a while. I wait. Okay. No, it's not. Okay, this one. Ano ba siya? Okay. So for the week 4 to 5, the ULO or the unit learning outcome. So at the end of this unit, you are expected to explain the relationship of the society, the art, and the art genre. So you will have 3 lessons for this unit. So we will just further discuss next rather the visual arts and the architectural arts. But this time is the relationship of the society, the art, and the art genres. So art, as we all know, art is not a solitary exercise. While art making does begin in a personal space, given in a very private encounter, the process of this communication begins. So, diba, our creative or our critical thinking or creative mind would uh, inspired with our personal experiences or our encounter with that specific story of our life or experiences that would be inspired to have this masterpiece. So first to the artist and then, unless stop, the artwork is communicated to the society. Art comes full circle when an audience understands the values in the artwork. So with this portion. So the artist or this artwork could also be communicated to the entire society. So with this art, it could also inspire to in other people just to keep going. So with that art, diba, aside from giving an entertainment, it could also give a story to the artist. So according to Gadamer, so he believes that art exists during the encounter between the artwork and the audience. So yes, we might ask of what use is a painting kept in a storage or a musical composition not played or recorded or a script not made into a movie or acted in the play. So yun siya, di ba? As what mentioned by Gadamer that it depends to the encounter of this artwork and the audience itself. For example, the painting, so it is inspired by the street children from uh, any other public places. So nakita doon sa pintor na what if pinta, uh, pintahin niya yung mga bata nandun sa streets and then para naman sa mga audiences may matouch sa kanila. Wow, it is very painful, di ba? Or nakakaawa yung mga street children na wala silang mga bahay, gano'n. Or it could be sa mga script, di ba? Sa mga storyline sa movies. So it could also touch us, di ba? Mga viewers or audience. If may gusto tayo na um, film or movie, like for example, mga tragic love story, di ba? Di natin yung makalimutan or minsan is ma-relate natin kasi na-experience natin yan. So yun siya. If there is no viewer, or the listener, there is someone here, or the listener, so probably, teka lang, di ko siya mabasa for the word. So, no, for your listener, is there a painting or a music? So if there is no audience, is an artwork. So it could also be used as what? So no viewer or listener, di ba? So there it could be a painting. Yes, there could be just for yourself or music that you love. So if there is no audience, it is called in an artwork. Yes, di ba? As long as we give our talent or skills on that creative one. So the art, audience, and the history. So the communication then is a crucial stage in the encounter between the audience and the artwork. And insofar as the work reflects the artist person between the artist and the audience. So when there is an appreciative audience, one that understands and values at then art arrives at its goals. Yun siya, di ba? If may maka-appreciate din na audience or other people, it could also be a work of art. So that could also be a big help to the artist itself because may naka-appreciate sa kanyang trabaho. So the society has also kept the memory of the artist past alive. So this memory is the basis of the art history. So a system, recording, analysis, and the reconstruction of art's past, writing art history began in the 19th century, although as far back as the classical times in the West, there was an interest from the past. Mostly those Western countries coming from the Europe, so di ba sila lang yung mas civilized sa kanilang history. So they have also a great history and then a result of those arts. So according to Aristotle, so as you can see here in this picture, so Aristotle's Poetics gives us information how the theater was in ancient Greece. Ito siya example, diba? So Greece is from a Western country, so from the Europe. But in the 19th century, with the development of this critical history that demanded the documented proof of who was written. Those who wrote on the art did they likewise. So this is according to the Poetics of the Aristotle. So it demanded document proof, di ba? If you could mapansin nyo yung mga building or architecture sa Europe or sa any other Italy, di ba? Ang gaganda na kanilang mga building or architecturas that could also be from their history. So art history, not equivalent to the art appreciation, but rather a component of the latter part. A knowledge about the past enhances our understanding, leading to the appreciation, and the art history tells us about the traditions of this art. So it is also useful for the interpreting the works of the past or the cultures other than our own. These works follow conventions that are passed on from generation to the generation, but may have circulated in a narrow circle in the places distant to us in the space and time. So yun siya, di ba? Between the art history and its art appreciation. Because minsan, ang art appreciation, it could be happen undirected or later part pa niya ma-appreciate na art din siya. Just like for example, on my experiences when I watch a movie. So if for example, kato siya nga movie is parang boring siya una because sa ilang music, sa ilang lighting, di ba? Mostly sa mga Pinoy or mga original na mga Filipino movies is dili kay siya nindot ilang mga qualities. I also have that experience na mas like for example sa sine, di ba? If sa mga sinihan, so mas prefer na ako ginatan-out to mga foreign countries kay ang mga visual effects, di ba mga nindot, mga cinematography. While sa Philippines is kanang normal lang or basic, but Bulta kabalo di ay sa ending ato is na di siya different ending, di ba? Or moral sa story na unusual siya iyahang story nga ginapakita, di ba? It depends also sa mood sa director. So I also fun with matching movies, di ba? So yun siya. It depends sa kanila ending if sad ba siya or dili siya usual nga happy ending, di ba? So dara pa natin ma-appreciate later on of or pag na sa movie. So the shadow puppet plays of Indonesia, so for example, kani sila is a shadow puppet play from the Indonesia called the Wayang Kulit. So you can see another picture here. So there is a man who has this puppet place. So ito yung puppet play niya and then may microphone din siya na nag-speak about sa story sa puppet. So it begins with the casting a shadow of the tree of the life on you while illuminated from behind. So the shadow may not look alike of living tree because this Hindu tree of life looks more like a pursed fan. So the tree that grows on the sacred Mount Meru, the mythic mountain of the gods equated with the Himalayas and the opening of the Wayang, does not depict a living natural tree but a mythical tree decorated by the jewels and the home of the quality mythical or the kinare, the creatures half woman or the half bird. So ito yung mga itsura ng mga puppet from the Wayang Kulit. So inspired siya doon sa story sa Sacred Mount Meru, di ba na parang may Diyosa, gods and goddesses. Ito is half woman and then half bird. So yun siya about sa puppetry from the Indonesia. Artists across the cultures and times. Our modern idea of an artist as an independent professional who may have a talent manager. For example, here or one of the famous Filipino talent manager was Boy Abunda, di ba? So marami din siyang artista na manage. Also another talent managers is Vice Ganda. So sa Showtime is, for example, may ma-discover siya na parang pasisikatin na, di ba, sa movie, as a segment niya na GGV or Gandang Gabi Vice. For example, yung sila Ayon, sila Aura, o sila sino yun? Mga Jack ba yun? I forgot the linguist. Hindi na familiar sa mga sabi sa ABS, di ba? Kasi shutdown na siya. Or it could be sila Annabel Ramas, siya ang talent manager sa anak niya, sila Rufo Gutierrez, yung twins, si Raymond and Richard, or it could be si Ogie Diaz, siya yung talent manager ni Liza Soberano. So they assist actors and actresses in their career, especially by looking for the opportunities to appear on stage or a film. Or like the painters, di ba, who have their galleries that promote also their work, has not been around for more than a century and have principally in the West and places strongly influenced by the West. So this talent manager could advise them, the artist, di ba? Like for example, wala jud kabalo ang artist sa iyang himuon, sa na pa yung next himuon pag medyo sikat na kayo siya. So there is no one who is called the talent manager that will also guide them or manage them. However, in another one pala additionally, in many ethno-linguistic or cultural communities, when we say ethno-linguistics are those languages from different tribes or ethnicity. So the practice of the art is shared among a large number in the community. So for example, most Ifugaos here in the Coliera, most Ifugao males know how to carve, build a field or this house, or do carpentry jobs kasi nga mas stronger, di ba, ang male. So sila lang yung mga nagbi-build sa house na nagapanday, nagadukduk, or some do iron works. While the female, so sila naman yung marunong mag-weave ng fabric, so yung mga tela, di ba, or mga cloth na binibenta or make baskets, and form and bake a terracotta pots, so sa mga kaang that using paddle and an anvil, so katong mga dili kay siya bugat nga trabaho sa Ifugao female. So it only began during the American colonial era in 1898 to 1946 when the American teachers, so one of our historian or the good history relationship between America and the US and the Philippines rather. So the missionaries, the soldiers, and the civil servants started spending summers in the Baguio City. So that is part from the CAR or the Cordillera Administrative Region. So you can see here in the picture. So they wear this citizens from Baguio, di ba yung common na ginasuot sa Baguio if you are a tourist from the Baguio. This strawberry. So yun siya yung sa Benguet, nila Liza ngayon, forevermore. But doon siya sinut. So following them were the elites and the middle class from the lowlands, some civil servants, and then the elected officials. So in search of these keepsakes, they found the carvings of the mountain people. Then soon, the Ifugao families migrated to also the Baguio City to be near tourist market, eventually establishing a colony along the Asin Road. The signature gigantic spoon and fork, an ornament in many Filipinos' homes, is an invention of the tourists. So ito yun siya mga examples sa mass production of the sculpture sa giant spoon or forks made up of woods. Diba? Ito yung mga basket, mga weave nila na cloth, so yun siya. And also the bulul, that is known for the representation of a rice deity from the Ifugao people. Diba? The Banawi rice terraces that is made from Ifugao people. So yun siya, a rice deities, parang nagko-collecta siya na or nagalad siya o kanang rice or gas. Okay, let's proceed to our artist education. So when we think of art education, we think of a formal courses, right? Like on art appreciation. So since you are Filipino major, best at Filipino, so art appreciation is one of your general education subjects, right? But art or the Philippine arts could be learned to you as a Filipino major. So you know the culture, the history of these arts or our original Philippines arts. It may also involve the interaction between the students and the teachers. So learning happens principally not solely inside a four walls of the classroom. So it could also be happening on any other places, di ba? Like just like staying there at your home, you just watch movies or you are just um, sketching or drawing at your seat. So yun siya, di ba? But art education, we assume, may involve training the art professional who goes to college to get a degree like the Bachelor of Fine Arts, a Bachelor in Fine Arts or Bachelor of Arts major in the art history or a Bachelor in Science major in architecture. So one of the famous school or university that offers this education is from UP or the University of the Philippines. So, kompleto yung mga courses nila doon because they are well established, di ba? So, they was made on 1908 pa. But also in University of Mindanao, in our school, we offer also this Bachelor of Fine Arts sa University of UM Maine or sa UM Matina campus and then also the BS Architecture. So, ina-offer din ito siya sa UM Matina campus because mas bigger school man din doon. So, yun siya, di ba? So, these are the following courses if you really want to become an artist, a professional artist. So further specialization might mean going for a master's degree, a master's in fine arts, or the MFA. But like the image of an artist as a brooding, lonely creature, the systematic acquisition of the art competency is relatively new. It is about 2 centuries old, dating to the end of the 18th century and the beginning of the 19th century. So yun siya, di ba? So it happens from the past or during the histories. That's why itong UP, sila lang yung complete set na nag-offer ng BFA, Fine Arts, and then BS Architecture. So as you all know, one of our Miss Universe National Director, Miss Shamsi Supsup, di ba? If you're familiar with her, so she's a graduate of BS or Bachelor of Science in Architecture, a Bachelor in Science in major in Architecture at UP Diliman. And then she's a graduate of Magna Cum Laude din siya doon sa UP. Then a top notcher also from the Architecture Department sa UP. Okay, we have here historically the education of the artist is closely linked to the social definition of the artist. So in ethno-linguistic communities again, art knowledge and techniques pass in the families from one generation to the next. As you can see here, the picture, there are group of people who are performing using traditional or local or native dresses, right? Tribal dance, di ba? And then these symbols, or I think you're familiar with this part sa Filipino na yun na language, di ba? Or we call as the alibata or yung baybayin na truly originally Pinoy siya na mga letters, di ba? Or symbols, di ba? Like for the abaka, daga, so yun siya. So may different symbols yun siya. So, by the way, on these symbols, I am thinking to get on this tattoo na ganito yung symbol na. For example, my name is For example, short for bunny. So ito yung siyang sign ko for BA or na siya ba. Ganito siya. And then N naman. So parang itong may cross. And then Y. May Y ba dito ito? So yun siya, diba? So it depends on our creative side or our creative part. Among the tibulis of the Lake Cebu in the South Cotabato, girls and as young as grade school age are already exposed to the art of this weaving. So most females know how to weave these fabrics or this cloth. So this is young girls sit around the weaving. So the mothers are also assisting them in the different tasks of the weaving. So this includes the cleaning and stretching from the abaca fiber or this traditional material or this what we call as the tinalak and the warp ikat weave of the tibuli. So ito yung mga finished product nila. So mostly mga older people din ang mas talented on using this masterpiece of an art. So if you're familiar with Kublai Milan, so he's a famous artist from Mindanao, or his complete name is Ray Mujahid Ponce Milan, better known as Kublai Milan or Kublai, is a prolific artist from Mindanao. He is known for his giant sculptures. Aside from being a sculptor, he is also an art photographer, painter, digital artist, and performance artist. So he is 46 years old from Cotabato City. So he graduated from UP, University of the Philippines, STEM. So known for some sculpture, fine art, photography, painting, digital art, and performance art. So ito si Kublai Milan. So I meet Kublai Milan when I was, I think, third year high school ata yun or fourth year high school. So we have this field trip, di ba? So yung sa Davao Museum ba yun or sa bahay niya. So I saw different paintings that he made. And so on my subject sa MAPE, so sa music arts, PE, and health, so may isa to na painting na na-catch yung attention ko. So I took a picture of it of my, ano yung ginamit ko? Wala pa man akong cellphone noon na with camera, pang MP3 player yata na may camera. So with that, yung na-inspired na-remember ko is yung parang siyang colorful na painting, parang rainbow at ayun din may hidden face siya na it depends sa emotion, di ba, na happy or sad, yun siya. And also, one of his creation is, if you are familiar with yung sa park, Panabo Park, di ba, dito sa atin, siya din ang gumawa ito yung saging, may mga bangus na nakasurround, this fountain, and then these hands na parang siya yung biyaya or blessing from those mga natural resources. And then, yung mga, siya din yung gumawa doon sa People's Park, diba? If you try to go sa People's Park, siya din ang gumawa or nag-design sa People's Park. Okay, that's a wrap for our first lesson for the second examination for G7. So I hope you learned something for our discussion. So for your next activity, so you may also create or have or think for a beautiful masterpiece that would also help for your art or inspiration for your art for your um, next activity, I think, or your project to me. So that would be all. Have a great day. See you guys next lesson. Bye bye. Thank you for listening and always keep indoor and keep safe. So that would be and meeting. Tagal niyo